All right, time for Media Watch now. James Creedon's with us in the studio. Hi there, James.
Hi, Laura.
You're going to start with the industrial action still going on here in France, of course. And we've been looking at pictures of demonstrators, very angry, often very violent scenes in Paris and elsewhere.
That's right. And one scene really illustrates the extent to which they are not backing down. C'est à vous. It's a television show, a talk show on the France 5 network, a public broadcaster. Take a look at these scenes from just about an hour ago on live TV in France. Now, it's a studio that opens onto a garden, a little bit like our studio here in France 24,
lovely.
Laura.
Yes.
And here is the anchor, and she's interviewing the Labour Minister, Madame El Khomri. There she is on the left, who it's so that the contested law is in her name. It's known as the El Khomri law in France.
Oh, pretty
and
scary
here you have
stuff.
people who somehow managed to break into the sort of France Télévisions property and start protesting while the Labour Minister is live on air. So that is pretty extraordinary stuff.
Her
And
security people very nervous.
absolutely.
Not to mention the director in the regie, in the gallery.
I think they're all a bit like,
as well.
is this country ever going to stop protesting? It obviously became a big topic on social media with people illustrating how the Labour Minister might have responded to this, horde of this mob of protesters. That's a scene, I think, from parts of the Caribbean. So in any case, look, I think that as picture speaks 1,000 words in that case. The press this morning.
Yeah, I mean, you've got all the transport has been hit by strikes. There's fuel shortages, energy shortages, all the rest of it. No newspapers either.
Because the head of the CGT union wanted to publish this, communique, if you like, in all of the daily papers. Many of them said, no, you can't just impose your press release on our newspapers. So they actually blockaded the newspaper depots and such. And all of these newspapers,
Only
Libération,
L'Humanité.
That's right. None of these could get out. The only newspaper...
And Libération is a left-wing newspaper as well. I mean,
That's right. So it was only the far left Humanité that actually made it to the press
that's not
kiosks.
necessarily a smart move, is it? Alienating all of the press.
Well, just take a look at this tweet, which I think illustrates a lot of how people feel. The CGT union is restraining or limiting our rights and our freedoms. First, petrol, now the newspapers. How long are we going to accept this? She's a Les Républicains MP, so maybe to be expected that she would say that, but still. And here you have a cartoonist illustrating how empty the press kiosks are. All you have there is Pravda. That's a reference to L'Humanité, the far left paper, which was the only one to make it to newspaper kiosks this morning.
Okay.
So I think it's probably, that was certainly in terms of PR, a bad move for the CGT union.
Situation in France not calming down at all then. Let's move then to something completely different over in China. An ad that's gone viral online is really causing...
All right,
stir.
well, this appeared on Chinese television and in Chinese cinemas. I'm not sure if we'll have sound on this. It's for a washing detergent, right? And what you see is this gentleman appearing into the fray here. There's a sort of a romantic sort of moment with this Chinese lady, and in he goes to the washing machine. Now, do you see where this could potentially go, right? So this washing detergent, which is, the brand is Kiaobi, the Kiaobi brand.
Oh.
And out he comes as a Chinese...
subtle.
Very subtle indeed. So obviously, the Shanghaiist.com and other websites have picked up on this, and they're like, it's a WTF moment, I think, for a lot of people saying, is this actually possible? But believe it or not, there was an ad about 9 years ago in Italy, and some people saying, look, maybe this provides some degree of context, also for a washing up detergent, but for colours, you have different washing detergents, some for coloured clothes, some for if you want to have white clothes. I don't know, apparently.
I use the same for everything.
Anyway, here you have a white Italian man, and exactly the same scenario. He goes into the washing machine, and
they've pinched it, haven't they?
Right, but because it's for coloured clothes, right?
Don't tell me.
Out he comes as a black guy,
goodness
and the idea here is that he's actually sort of more attractive and he's buffer, and it's sort of coloured is better, right? So that's not a racist ad, but I think that the Chinese.
I'm not sure about that.
Right, maybe let's just not try to analyse it apart from.
I don't think they've put a great deal of thought into.
Pretty much everybody thinks that ad is way below the belt.
But yeah, really shocking.
Do we have time very quickly for the final
You've got 10
story?
seconds. Go on.
All right. A pair of glasses left on the floor of a modern art museum. Did you see this? In San Francisco. It was a prankster. Prankster who did this, right? By the name of TJ Kayatan. And indeed, because it was in a modern art museum,
People thought it was an insulator. I love it.
And
It's like the fire extinguisher.
the same guy did the same thing with a baseball cap, and people thought it
brilliant.
was art, and with a bin.
And with a bit. Oh, I love it. Excellent. Good stuff. What a prankster.
Art is in
James.
the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely. James, lovely stuff. Thank you very much indeed, James Creedon
Thanks,
there.